The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
Now for what's trending in true crime, Jay-Z is now suing that attorney you just saw there, Tony Busby, for $20 million. This is on the heels of Busby's client dropping her lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy. Now the woman who was proceeding anonymously accused the hip-hop moguls of raping her at an after party after the VMAs when she was just 13 years old. They said there was another female major celebrity who stood by and watched too, but we never did get that name. That initial suit came out in October. We talked all about it. This was in the year 2000. Now, Jay-Z always denied the claim, so did Diddy, and he had this to say after his accuser voluntarily dismissed the suit with prejudice, meaning that it can't be filed again. He said, quote, "The fictional tale they created was laughable. The trauma that my wife, my children, my loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed." Now, Tony Busby, that attorney for that accuser, has declined comment. He represents many accusers in cases that have been brought against Diddy. Now, we've got to ask the question, what does this withdrawal mean, right? Because it says on the docket, voluntary withdrawal. But what happened before the withdrawal? Did anything happen? Was there a big payout? Is there a non-disclosure? Was this done because the victim isn't being truthful? Why did this happen? We got a great power panel we put together. Let's get their thoughts on it. With me, entertainment commentator Holland Reed. She's also an actress and a photographer and has attended a Diddy party in the past. We've got with us attorney Tommy Pope. He's also a retired SLED agent and state lawmaker now. And we have retired criminal defense attorney and author Kirk Nurmi. Great to see you all on this. Yeah. Holland, let me begin with you. Why do you think we have this withdrawal after, I mean, such a big stink was made? You know, Tony Busby went to the press conference, all of that. I mean, all of our I remember us talking about this, the jaw-dropping moment when that 13-year-old at the time was saying that she was raped by these men and another female celebrity watched. What do you think's going on here?
I think it's time, power, money. Time, power, money. She could not keep her story straight. Her father could not corroborate picking her up or dropping her off ever, driving down to this party. Her holes and the holes in her story just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you become a non-credible witness or a plaintiff, then you don't have the time, power, and money to continue on against the greats. You're going up against two of the biggest moguls, if not the biggest moguls, in the entire entertainment industry. And you are hiring, as Jay-Z called it, a 1-800 lawyer to defend you. So I believe at the end of this comes down to time, power, and money. Just because it was dropped does not mean there's innocence, but at least it clears them for now, and it cannot be brought up in the future. I think Jay-Z has not had any other victims come forward like Diddy has, and I think that's why it's more believable that Jay-Z was not there, and he stood by that from the beginning of all of this. But P. Diddy, he got off easy on this one, and I think it gives him maybe a little bit of a deep breath, but he still has an uphill battle from here on out.
Holland, are you sure you're not a trial attorney? Because I tell you what, that theme, time, power, money, is awesome. That should be what the federal government uses in New York with Diddy. That is beside the point. I love your analysis. Tommy Pope, let me go to you next. What do you think is going on here?
Well, just for the record, Julie, I want to tell you, I have never attended a Diddy party. I just want to get that out front in the introductions, you know. It's tough being a victim, particularly a long time. Like I say, you can have holes in your case, even if it's true. But you led off with the thing that popped in my mind when I first read it earlier, I guess it was the end of last week, is, you know, some non-disclosure, some settlement. Now, with that being said, settlements aren't necessarily admission of guilt. Sometimes there's a nuisance value. And so I don't know the timing even of the lawsuit against this attorney versus this dismissal. So there's factors at play. But as you just heard, Diddy's got a lot more on his plate that he's got to worry about than I think Jay-Z does.
Yes, and just as a follow-up for you, Tommy, because you do civil work in addition to criminal practice, you do civil work, so I think this is a great teachable moment. So let's just say, and I'm not saying this is what happened because I don't know. I wish I did. I would tell everybody, but I don't know. We don't know what happened that led up to this, right? We just know withdrawn with prejudice, won't be found again. Tommy, if there was a money settlement, like let's say there's a non-disclosure, all of that, the docket wouldn't necessarily reflect that, would it? Am I correct on that?
That's true. And of course, when you got an underage victim too, there's an interesting question. In South Carolina, we call it compounding a felony, but basically buying off some type of civil action to prevent a criminal action. And that's a separate crime here in South Carolina. So, you know, again, we wouldn't be talking about it if it didn't beg more questions than it answered. But truly, you could settle out and have a non-disclosure. But sometimes the non-disclosure is at least filed, you know, to say you won't discuss it further. And that may have been contained in the dismissal with prejudice. You know, you'd have to look at the actual document.
Tommy, thank you for that. So we may never really know what the truth is on this one, which is a tough pill to swallow. And also, these names, you know, the female celebrity, we don't know who that is. My goodness, I remember Tony Busby, Kirk near me, saying, oh, we're going to go after people who just stood around at this party and didn't do anything or intercede and help. And now here we are. Your thoughts, please, on all this, Kirk.
Well, look, lawyers can say a lot of things, and when you have civil suits like this, there can be a lot of bluster involved, a lot of assertions made, and they don't necessarily have to be substantiated. One of the issues could be that those accusations aren't fully substantiated, but I think we have to see here there's a couple powerful things. I don't really think that Mr. Combs is really the driving force behind it. He is not of power, given the allegations against him, to wind up with a dismissed lawsuit, if you will. I think this is all or not. We don't
Kirk,
really
thank you
know.
for that. Oh, we're losing you for some reason. We're going to work on your audio for a sec, Kirk. Hang in there. Holland, let me go back to you, please, because I think in all fairness, it's important to point out, well, you're in Hollywood. I mean, you've done acting work, all of that, invited to one of these parties. I want to have you say it again, if you don't mind, please. Tell us what that experience was like. Did you see anything that was criminal at all when you were there?
So yes, I have been to a Diddy party. I have been to 2 of them, and not the Diddy party that is a part of any of this, these allegations and these lawsuits. These were after parties, again, at BMAs, same exact situation, but not the exclusive, go up to the next level, anything like that. So it is the creme de la creme of every celebrity. Everyone wants to be there. Every wannabe actor, entertainer wants to be a part of these environments. Everybody's fighting to get in. Nobody is not following the rules to be there. You have to, not saying look a certain way, go through security checks. You're rubbing elbows with people you never in a million years would rub elbows with. So this is a very exclusive situation. So if you are now, I guess, escorted to another area of this, I know nothing about that. But it is not, it doesn't, it's I don't know what the word is. I don't take it lightly that those things absolutely were probably happening unbeknownst to me. And I just was not privy to them because of maybe my status or whatever, and I would never want to be. But when you're in these situations, I can't imagine saying no, because the pressure is so high to comply to whatever these powerful people want you to do or want you to be a part of. I have had people grab me in a hallway trying to kiss me before at these parties, and I was saved by another celebrity because of that. So I know that if that's one little microcosm of assault, God knows what else is going on in other rooms or in other locations.
I appreciate that context so much, Holland. And I think in all fairness to Diddy, we don't want to paint with broad brushstrokes here. Lots of parties, the government has to be really specific, as you all know, with these allegations and what they're saying that he did. So thank you again for sharing that.